Yeah, I have no faith in Republicans at all whatsoever doing the right thing, but it's kind of fun to see some of them act like maybe they have a spine. I'm looking at Chuck Grassley, senator, Republican senator from Iowa. He's about 215 years old, and and there's an article. Let's see, in Raw Story, it's about whether or not there's a lesson for Trump to learn from Matt Gaetz's withdrawal. And Chuck Grassley says Trump has the constitutional right to nominate. We, meaning the Senate, have the constitutional responsibility to confirm. We each handle our jobs separately. Okay, so that hints of a spine. That hints of a spine. But all we have is a hint because I don't really see these guys coming forward doing a whole lot. My friend Eric Ham, I had him on my podcast a couple of weeks ago. You see him on some of the foreign TV and for on AP, and he writes for CTV News. That's Canadian TV, where he's an analyst. He says that these are all, these first four or so of the most egregious picks are pawns in a chess game by Trump. And I've kind of been hinting at that too. I think it's a game of like, look, squirrel. And we're distracted by these obviously egregious picks, like the worst you can imagine. And this is such a Putin type game. So, as Eric writes, in the game of chess, there are few moves more exciting than a sacrifice. This signature maneuver occurs when one player intentionally gives up a piece to achieve a larger goal. And so he's talking about these egregious cabinet picks. We're talking, of course, Matt Gaetz. We're talking Tulsi Gabbard. We're talking Pete Hegseth, and we're talking RFK Jr. Those would be the four most egregious ones. Pam Bondi is, you know, not exactly a picnic, but she's so much better than Matt Gaetz that people would be like, oh, thank God we have Pam Bondi. She was the AG of Florida. She is corrupt as all get out. She dropped the case, the Trump University case in Florida against Trump because he gave her a $25,000 campaign contribution. We've talked about that before. So, so who do we do? Who else is, let's see, Eric's words are, candidates are on a kamikaze mission. And that's exactly what it is. I do think that Marco Rubio is the exception to that. I don't think he's an egregious pick. I think he's spineless. I think he's weak. I think he showed a lot of promise in terms of fighting Trump when they were all in a primary in 2015 and 2016. And then he went all Lindsey Graham on us. But he's not an egregious pick overall to be Secretary of State. So his name came out there early. Obviously, Trump has different reasons for this. He wasn't sitting around thinking, who can I nab to be the best Secretary of State possible? And you probably would not come up with Marco Rubio's name. He's a sitting senator. You want to be careful about sacrificing those seats, although it can be an appointed seat. Obviously, that is because he would like to have his daughter-in-law, Lara Trump, in that seat. She wants it. She said it publicly. She'd very much like to be appointed to that Senate seat, which is why if Matt Gaetz ever had any thoughts or dreams of that, once he had to resign to pull out as the nominee to run DOJ, he's got nothing. So he had quit for the rest of this Congress to try and hide the Ethics Committee report. He quit Congress 2 days before it was coming out. He wasn't required to quit. Not yet. I mean, let this Congress go out. It's only, a few days here, a few weeks when they sine die. And then he got reelected to this next Congress so they could, go ahead and fill that seat. But he's not going to do that either. He is done. I fully expect Matt Gaetz to show up on Fox News with a show or as a contributor or Newsmax or something like that, because Newsmax is chock full of sexual deviants who got fired either openly or quietly from other jobs because of their issues. And we see that all over Newsmax. Some of them used to be at Fox News, maybe made a pit stop at a New York TV station before getting into trouble and having to quietly pretend they were quitting when actually they got fired. And because they're well connected with important daddies who used to be, commissioners in New York police commissioner. They somehow survive and make lots of money. So Newsmax almost seems to encourage sexual perverts and deviants and those who got caught up in the Me Too stuff and sexual assaulters and whatnot. They always land well, don't they? They always land there. You know, the guys that take the dick pics and show them around. And yeah, they all used to be at Fox News. So you get a lot of that. You get a lot of that at Newsmax. So yeah, Matt Gaetz will fit in perfectly there. Perfectly there. And so he'll go, I think, there or to Fox News. Mark my words. Marco Rubio won't last the year as Secretary of State. The whole purpose of appointing him to that or nominating him to that position was to get him out of the way for Laura Trump, as I said. So these are sacrificial lambs. But I do like that some Republicans are at least pretending to have a spine. But they're only doing that for the most obvious, most egregious ones, who might not even be the most dangerous ones in their positions. So you've got RFK Jr., who I don't think is going to make it through the process. I don't think Pete Hegseth can. I'm just wondering, there must have been something somewhere along the line where he did something to piss off Trump, because Trump is making him the sacrificial lamb, just like he did Matt Gaetz. Remember the big split before with Gaetz and Trump, and then Matt Gaetz then tried to kiss his butt and get back in good. I don't think Trump forgives and forgets. He always has a plan to do somebody in. That's what he does his whole life. He's evil. And expect more of this. The most interesting one will be Elon Musk, depending how, if Elon Musk survives as Trump best buddy, that means that he is the one in control, not Trump. It means this is what Putin wants. And what Putin wants, Putin gets. But if it's just Trump who's got him as his temporary best buddy, it ain't going to last. The egos, the weirdness, the fact that Musk might be overstepping a little bit. There's been hints of that with some of the negative things that Trump has said about Elon Musk, you know, pretending that it's a joke, but no jokes of Trump's are funny. They're always a dig. It's always sticking the shiv in someone's back and then going, "Oh, I was just joking, just kidding." So that split will be big and messy, and get the popcorns, kids, because it's going to be fun to watch. And that's really all we can do at this point. I'm not trying to make light of the negative situation we're in, because we're in a bad situation with Trump coming into the White House. But it is interesting to watch and to see how he does these people in. It's instructive. We can kind of anticipate the next moves, and you never know. We might be able to have an impact. Clearly, we did with the Matt Gaetz situation, because Republicans, first and foremost, have to respond to their constituents. And while there is a threat that if you don't fall in line and do everything that dictator Trump wants, Elon Musk will pay for somebody to primary them. If you're a senator and you got a few years left in your seat, you're probably not going to be too worried about that. If you're a House member, I mean, what are you going to do? So it's a matter of, do you sell your soul? Do you assume that Elon Musk won't survive because, well, he is a weirdo? And you write it out, and that's the question. So it comes down to this. Trump and Elon Musk are basically saying, you had better be more afraid of us, Republican House or Senate member, than you are of your own constituents. And that's what it comes down to. And that is the drama that I'll be watching. And where we can, we are going to use our voices. We're going to fight. We may have an impact here and there. It is possible. We have already. So let's hang in there, do what we can, and let's keep tabs on this and see how this develops. It should be fun.